TikTok who entered stranger's home defense videos amid calls for his arrest. Exclusive. I'm a bulk male doing these things and that's why there's such an uproar on the internet. My boomer boss today was talking about how she worked her ass off to graduate college with no debt. I asked her how much tuition was. She said $750 a semester. TikTok prankster Mizzy interferes with controls of a train. Teen faces new charges as footage emerges of him entering a driver's cab on a carriage in East London after breaching a court-ordered social media ban imposed for barging into people's homes. GTA 6 in real life. GTA 6 in real life. Bike Karen was right after all. She has shown proof she paid for that bike. The Civil War wasn't about slavery until the Union started losing. Lincoln needed to gain the support of the Northerners somehow, so he made a political move to include slavery. Otherwise the people would have forced Lincoln to stop the unpopular war. Many Southern generals couldn't have cared less about slavery or fighting for it. Fact. So, I'm taking it. You have a degree in history with a focus on American history during that time period? Because I do, and that's the dumbest ducking thing I've ever heard. FSU tailgate tonight saw a girl drop 2 tickets. I got her attention and she rudely said she had a boyfriend. Guess whose seat I'm in? 1151. FedEx. Stop playing around with this 4 times attempted delivery stuff. I saw you drive up and not get out of the van. Leave my cat food boxes by the porch. There's a hungry animal who lives here. Call me if you wanna talk about it. Jesus Christ never introduced himself using pronouns. John 18 verse 6. Jesus said I'm he. Is it guy for a man to tell another man good morning? I'm a 23-year-old male. My dad and I were out at the laundromat, and as we were leaving another man walks in. I make eye contact with him, and I say good morning. He replies, "Y'all fellas alright?" When we walked out my father tells me, "Don't ever say good morning to a man around your age. Guys would think you're a little sweet. You understand me? Next time say what's up, or what's going on. To a woman it's fine, but not a man. When you're out on the streets don't say that. I don't understand this at all. When is it ever guy or wrong for a man to say good morning to another man? I say good morning to everyone, male and female, at work all of the time, and have no issues. I don't think I did anything wrong. I think my dad is being absurd. Is it guy for a man to tell another man good morning? Dad rages after daughter's private school claims dinosaurs didn't exist. A dad has been left outraged after discovering that his daughter's school has been trying to brainwash her into believing evolution isn't real and the world is only around 6,000 years old. The day I realized my husband had changed the locks after I had an affair and was left pounding on the door pleading, sickened and furious. If you want $15 minimum wage, don't complain when your Taco Bell order costs $38 for a burrito. The most expensive Taco Bell burrito in Washington DC, where the minimum wage is already $15, costs $3.79. This old lady came to the bank I work at to withdraw $10. I told her that for withdrawals less than $100 she has to use the ATM. So she asked to withdraw $1,000 in $10 bills. It snagged, but I counted it out and handed her the money. She took $10, gave me $990, and said deposit this. I'm glad when I used to skate as a kid, my parents didn't make me look like a dork by wearing some pointless helmet. Generation Snowflake strikes again. Imagine how nice you would have been without all the head injuries. IT worker sued boss who marked problems with SS as she thought they were kisses. An IT worker sued for sexual harassment after her rich and powerful male boss marked parts of an email where he wanted more information with SS, which she thought were kisses. Karina Gasparova, a project manager, also claimed Alexander Gaulandris's use of question marks in the same message were code for asking her when she would be ready to engage in sexual acts. In a number of other innocent work-related incidents where she would find a sinister motive, Ms. Gasparova thought his renaming a file with his initials AJG was an acronym for A Jumbo Gentle. Bacteria is a living thing and a virus isn't. You cannot catch a virus. The only way to catch one is if it's injected into your body. Spoiler alert. Your teacher always handed your tests back to you face down. How? This is incredible. China is testing its new autonomous electric train that does not need traditional tracks. It runs on a virtual track. Can go everywhere. Mother ducker, that's a bendy bus. Things to do to keep your man humble. Tell him his pence is fine or normal. Casually compare him to other men. Give one-word answers. Avoid eye contact and lean away. Lavish more attention on your dog than him. Tell him that you need a break from texting. Gonna do all these things on my girlfriend. Thanks for the manipulation advice. You are hateful. This guy told his job he didn't want a birthday party because his anxiety. They threw him one anyways. He had a panic attack. They fired him for his behavior. He sued and now they owe him $450K. 99 years is the amount of prison time a doctor in Alabama will receive if they perform an abortion. 6 months is the amount of prison time you will receive if you rape an unconscious girl next to a dumpster. Wake the duck up. Oh yeah, that virus. That kills like 0.1% of the population is back. You know, no matter how many zeros you put in front of the decimal point, it doesn't make the number any smaller. You lost, mate? The mayor of a Russian village was looking for anyone, to be on the ballot against him to sustain the farcical illusion of democratic choice. He finally convinced the woman who cleaned City Hall. And then she won. I can't pick up my dog's prescription because I can't remember her date of birth. They won't tell me it because patient privacy. She's a dog. She won't tell me it either. I pity everyone who isn't us. My girlfriend between her 25th and 26th foursome of the night. This reads like someone who has never had sex before writing a pornography. I've spent the past 2 days outdoors with very little internet, and it wasn't the worst. Might try again in future. Too bad a bear or mountain lion didn't cross your path. Oh, well, I'll keep praying that you meet your demise soon, and it's in a way that everyone would know it was God that did it. We have a problem. Chick-fil-A just hired a VP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. This is bad. Very bad. I don't want to have to boycott. Are we going to have to boycott? It's only a matter of time until they start putting tranny to see men in the frosted lemonade at this point. Lol, I'm not really understanding the hate around this show. Egypt is obviously in Africa, so she could have been African American. We have no idea what she looked like, so we can't assume. She could have been African American. Take a moment to think about what you said there. Woman sends herself drinks while on dates to show she has options. When I go to the bathroom and pay the bartender to send me an anonymous shot so my date remembers I have options. You want socialized medicine? Tell me again about how good Canadian healthcare is. Tell me about the wait times for serious medical procedures. Did you guys learn anything from the complete failure of Obamacare? My husband needed brain surgery. World-class neurosurgeons removed a wedge of his skull, used lasers to remove scar tissue on his temporal lobe, and then put his skull back together. My biggest expenses were parking and snacks for stress eating. Realizing that my landlord is living my paycheck too. My paycheck is insane. One time I sent rent later in the evening on the 1st, and he complained because the bank overdrafted him on his mortgage payment. The duck. I'm the main breadwinner in my landlord's family. The moon is actually more useful than the sun, since the moon gives us light at night when it's dark. The sun only gives us light in the day when it's already bright. Lauren Boebert once told women in rocky marriages that they just need to start chasing Jesus to solve their marital issues. Now she's getting divorced. One could argue that China's continued use of symbols instead of an alphabet is a sign that it has not evolved past a very primitive form of communication, one which the West rejected thousands of years ago. Interesting. One might argue this difference in language makes the West more flexible in thought and deed than China can ever be. Lol, this is supposed to be an ad for Jesus, but it makes Satan seem ducking rad as hell. Satan doesn't whisper, "Believe in me." He whispers, "Believe in yourself." I wish folks would stop telling young people how to manage their money. I paid $310 for my first apartment. Based on inflation, it should go for $850 per month now, but the rent is $1,600. You can't personal finance your way out of greedy landlords and depressed wages. Remove sex from a relationship, and you will discover that 90% of women have nothing to offer men in relationships. Conversely, remove money from a relationship, and you will learn that 90% of women won't see a reason to be in said relationship. So is no one gonna talk about one of Hollywood's biggest stars impregnating a literal 29-year-old teenager? Imagine telling the girl who stood up to and was shot by the Taliban what to wear. Quebec Education Minister says Malala can teach here if she removes headscarf. Hashtag Henry Cavill's girly eye shows Henry Cavill not a guy. No matter how much work they get done, they can't change the energy coming out of the eyes, the windows to the soul. It's a real shame our Aussie friends were forced to give up their arms. It's a real shame that kids in Australia don't even know what active shooter even means. Thanks for your concern, America, but we don't want to be you. Homosexuality is not loving. It's one person causing another person significant bodily pain and texture. A male penis was never meant to be inserted into the anus, and it leads to tons of health issues, if or when it is. Don't be guy. Are you sure you weren't conceived via anal sex? Being so full of shut and all. Why are IT guys such nuts? Last week I drove 2 hours to push the power button on a server that 3 separate people assured me was already on. That 2k you worked hard for is better than 100k that's given to you for free. Don't ever give anyone advice again. Why are the world wars called the world wars when it was only a bunch of white countries beefing over who gets to control and duck up the world the most? Why does everything white suddenly become the world? Ah yes, the world wars were white. Remember the white countries: Japan, China, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Iraq, Brazil, the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Burma, and Ethiopia in the world wars. So white. In Texas, we will always lead the way to protect the unborn. Hashtag pro-life. Didn't you let kids freeze to death a few months ago? College-educated women with careers don't need men. They can support themselves now. Need is a powerful and a God-given glue that keeps marriages together. College and careers take this away. Thus, up to 90% of women initiating divorce are college-educated. Satan's plan for women. If bulk donation violence is so pervasive, how about y'all get your nail shops, beauty, supply houses, and restaurants out of bulk neighborhoods and open them in the neighborhoods of white people that you worship and want to be like? Bulk donation violence is 280 times greater than nation on bulk violence. Seattle can teach 6-year-olds that it's okay for Big Bird to go balls deep into Elmo while Count, Bert and Ernie Dang Grover and infect the whole damn street with monkeypox. Yeah, now, this hashtag Pride Month. Let's celebrate diversity and unity and spread love and acceptance. Together, we can make the world a kinder place for all. Putin is terrified of being assassinated and is refusing to travel abroad after a drone attack near his luxury home, reports. Russian President Vladimir Putin at the Eurasian Economic Summit in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, on November 9, 2022. Drones targeting Moscow struck near Russian President Vladimir Putin's home, a report says. The report said Putin was so scared of being assassinated that he was refusing to travel abroad. No one cares if you do not want to shop at Target. Apparently their management and sales numbers say differently. Seriously Adam, you're on the protect the kids train. When you chose dogs over yours how many times? You were literally convicted of malicious nourishment to a child just over a year ago. How many times have you been to jail? How many times did you put your kid in danger? Pretty sure a church is less dangerous than you when it comes to kids. A 20-year-old and a 12-year-old went to a Sonic in Texas. The 20-year-old started urinating in the parking lot. A Sonic employee, man pictured below, confronted the urinating young man. The 12-year-old got out a car with an assault rifle and shot dead the Sonic employee. The 20-year-old, the 12-year-old are charged with murder, all according to police. For 4 years, I've received insane notes and treats from Trumpers who believe I work for the New York Times. I don't. I never have. But in various bios it say New York Times best-selling author and they cannot tell the F difference. How pathetic is that? Taylor Swift fans are wearing adult diapers so they don't miss any songs during her 3-hour concert. He's melting down. How can DOJ possibly charge me, who did nothing wrong, when no other presidents were charged, when Joe Biden won't be charged for anything, including the fact that he has 1,850 boxes, much of it classified, and some dating back to his Senate day, when even Democrat senators are shocked. Also, President Clinton had documents, and won in court. Crooked Hillary deleted 33,000 emails, many classified, and wasn't even close to being charged. Only Trump, the greatest witch hunt of all time. Coca-Cola. Small coffee, $5. Small coffee please, $3. Hello, one small coffee please, $1.75. I'm not saying please to someone below me. Judging by this comment, there is literally nobody below you. The uterus has literal chambers made for storing sperm for later. It really doesn't matter when you're inseminated. Your body can still fertilize an egg during the fertile window using old sperm. I wouldn't trust NASA. And the earth is flat, right? There are documents from NASA that talk about the earth being a plane. So, you just said you wouldn't trust NASA, but are now trying to validate your claim by documents from NASA? You didn't think this one through, did you? First off, human genetics make it impossible for a human that has a reasonably high IQ to have an over-average size penis. As you know, Africa has the lowest average IQ and the highest average penis size, while China has one of the highest average IQs and one of the smallest average penis size. Got a small nut? The cities in the background are approximately 16 miles apart. Where is the curve? Please explain this. With the circumference of 24,901 miles, you are looking at a curvature of around 0.2 degrees, or a little more than 10 feet at 16 miles away. May I say, that curvature is still significantly higher than your IQ. Ashley Babbitt once garrised and chased husband's ex-girlfriend. This is unconscionable. She was just shot dead, and you want to publicly destroy her legacy. For what? This you? The truth is, George Floyd was not admirable. Not to say he didn't have redeemable qualities, but he wasn't anyone we should be modeling ourselves after. While his dealt brings. If I cheated on you, instead of leaving me, just understand the fact that you lack something which the man I cheated on you with doesn't. Find out the error in yourself, apologize to me, say sorry, accept it and become a better man. A priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into a bar. The rabbit says, I think I'm a typo. It's spelled Rabbi Steve. This is really embarrassing for you as an author. Preferred pronouns are for people who lack confidence in themselves. So you don't have preferred pronouns? I self-identify as me, which is a pronoun. Dear atheists, How is it that cavemen survived the asteroid, but the dinosaurs didn't? Trick was to keep a safe distance from the dinosaurs. About 65 million years or so seemed to do the trick. Food doesn't grow on trees. Go ask the Salvation Army for free shot. It quite literally does. Just found out Kat Von D vaccinates her cats, but not her children in LMAO. Can someone explain to me how they got all the ice through the small hole? Imagine being this stupid. US soccer fails to make the Olympics. Hi, just a loving reminder that the US women's national team will be at the Olympics. You know, the reigning World Cup champs. These two Russian idiots in Shevchenkov Kharkiv had their vehicle spotted out. Guess what they did? They came to a local Ukrainian police station and asked if they could have some fuel. Hey at YouTube, maybe don't put ads before first aid vids. I don't have time to watch a Red Lobster ad when my grandma is choking on a fishbone. Sorry to hear about the trouble. YouTube Premium offers an ad-free experience when you watch videos. Learn more here. Hope this helps. Because of mail-in ballots, 2020 will be the most rigged election in our nation's history. Unless this stupidity is ended. We voted during World War I and World War II with no problem. But now they are using Cupid in order to cheat by using mail-ins. Do you believe World War I and World War II were fought on our shores? Are you aware that the men serving abroad in those wars voted by mail? These bum-ass Canadians don't have Cash App, universal health care. Anybody at 18 years of age can vote. Multi-party political system. During the pandemic, $2,000 per month was given to impacted workers. We is legal, and instead of Cash App we have e-transfer, which is free.